You can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge.
With a badge?
The toxic place that ASU wants us to be civil in.
Pause. Pause. Hard pause. If ASU is so bad, why are you studying there, homegirl? Why? Why give your money to this racist institution? If it's so bad as you mentioned, why are you even there? Why? Hey, what's up you guys? So I'm coming to you another video and we're doing an update to the ASU students situation. You remember those? The two ASU girls who were found guilty of harassing the white dudes, right? And so we're gonna revisit that, get an update, talk about it a little bit more. So with that said, shall we begin? But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Maverick Mitch, hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I like talking about. So, current events, reviews, pop culture, social, political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. Okay, so real quick, I didn't know if I was going to do this video, but I guess I'm going to. I just saw this coming from the Daily Wire. I know the Quartering, Brandon Tatum also did a video on this too, but I just kind of want to put in my 2 cents a little bit about it, just because, one, I do want to do an update about it, and two, I think there's a greater conversation as far as, you know, the culture war. But even then, you know, I also want to do this video just to highlight, since I did a video on the original situation, be sure to check out that if you haven't done so already. I treated it like a case study, right? I treated what to say, what not to say, and all that stuff. You know, what would we do in that situation, and how to kind of visualize the traps that the left likes to do with all of these talking points, because I think that's one thing that these guys just did not do well. And I'm not saying that, you know, when you're in that situation type thing, you never know how you're gonna handle yourself, right? And so I'm not blaming them, but they definitely fall into the left's traps talking points, in which, you know, it just wasn't looking, they couldn't defend themselves as well as they should, right? And so be sure to check out that video. But again, going back to this video, right? I think there's a greater conversation about the culture war, and I think I'm gonna I will want to make an actual dedicated video to it. That I think we're actually winning, not winning the whole war, maybe not, but winning in a sense that there's minor battles that we are winning, right? And when I say we, it's really just anyone who is not in this woke matrix, false reality of progressivism, right? You know, that is not SJWs. If you're red pill based, just not NPC, and just reading reality as it is, not as this fake reality. I think that's what I'm calling as we, right? Just like anti-woke, I guess. Because yes, there's an overlap with conservatives, but like not everyone here is conservative, libertarian, independents, and all that good stuff, right? Like the Tim Pool types, right? You know, like moderate types, the right-leaning or even center-leaning, whatever, center-left, but just not in that woke atmosphere, right? So winning in that sense, and I think this goes to show, like, when it comes to these ASU students, you know, being found, these two progressive women founding guilty, right? And obviously Rittenhouse, talking about Rittenhouse going to the ASU, right? Like there was a whole thing about them protesting Kyle Rittenhouse not going there, you know, and it's just a kind of like a whole matter of these little battles that we're winning. And like even the CW, like, right? And so the CW looks like they're losing money so much that they might sell themselves, like this woke SJW narrative that the CW does, and so it's not being profitable. So again, all of these little things, seems like we are winning some of these battles, that people are just coming to the senses, and that the pendulum is just swinging back, if not to the full right, now it's just at least going back to the center, which is great, you know. And so obviously I want to go make a video, but again, for this video, pretty much I just kind of want to do kind of like a reaction to what they gotta say via the Daily Wire, you know. And so we're gonna say that and then probably talk some more. So yeah.
Dear white people, aka ASU, you openly discriminated against us on November 16th when you handed down your decision from your racially biased investigation.
You're offensive. Police lives matter?
You are racist. Your sticker is racist.
In September 2021, a video recorded by 2 female students at ASU went viral, gaining nearly 6 million views on Twitter.
Okay, pause real quick. Again, this is coming from the Daily Wire. They're doing a recap of the whole situation. I actually want to go into, after we'll do this video, I'll go into the actual video of them discussing the whole situation. You know, it was on one of their Instagrams, and so it's still up. So I'll also link that below. But we'll take a look of this Daily Wire segment, and I catch a little bit about it. It seems very well done. So, but we'll go into it. It kind of gives a recap as far as where we're at in this situation.
They filmed themselves yelling at and berating 2 white male students who were studying in the school's Multicultural Center. There's an update to the story after the women recorded another video of themselves saying that they were disciplined for the September incident.
ASU's investigation found us guilty of interfering with university activities.
Here's what happened. In the video from September 2021, the young women approached 2 male students.
Pause real quick. I know we shouldn't laugh and smile on that in a little bit, but a little shock and fright 'em, right? I think that's the right word. Shock and fright 'em. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but I mean, like, the fact that you were. This is kind of goes. I also does a video on this. The whole in Aurora, Colorado, there was the boba tea, the trap tea boba, all that stuff. I have also a video on that, but. The fact that you went in on it hard, like, if you wanted to gain sympathy, that wasn't the way you're gonna do it, you know? Like, and just as much in this video, they were going at this hard. They weren't trying to have a conversation. They were just having those guys, like, they were found guilty, of harassing the dudes, and I think we can all agree that they were. They weren't trying to have a conversation. They weren't trying to have, like, let me hear your side and all that stuff. They just wanted them out. They just wanted to exercise their power of the Multicultural Center and enforce it and use coercion to make these guys leave. And so, again, it wasn't about like anything about learning or growing or healing or coming together. It's about, like, this is where I have power and I'm gonna use my power against you.
Students who are sitting at a table in a student center on the campus of Arizona State University. The women asserted that the boys were taunting them and other black students by wearing an anti-Biden t-shirt, a Bass Pro hat, having a Police Lives Matter sticker, and a Chick-fil-A cup.
You can choose to be a cop. You can choose to kill people with a badge.
With a badge?
Which means that you're racist. It's because police, that's a job. You can choose to be a police. I don't choose to be black.
At one point,
Pause real quick. I also mentioned this in my other video of this situation. She said, like, I don't choose to be black. But if you look into it, from what I understand, that she's actually half black. She's half white. So why can't you identify as white, especially when there's transracial, you know, people who identify as being black, identify as being white, identify as being that Ollie London, who's that white British dude who identifies as being Korean, you know? So why can't you be white?
the student with the Police Lives Matter sticker tries to apologize, but he ends up being called an accomplice to murder.
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to defend you guys.
I know, but this offends us automatically because these people kill people like me and like us, right?
So again, right there, like I wish this conversation went there more, right? I wish there was a solid conversation, like, hey, you know, let's talk about this type of thing. But they weren't having it. They just want them gone, right?
So you're promoting our murderers.
Another student intervenes and says, "How is a sticker affecting you negatively?" But the situation just escalates from there.
So please just don't do that.
Thank you.
Because
Because
you understand that Police Lives Matter was in response to Black Lives Matter.
As it turns out, the two young women also led a campaign to have Kyle Rittenhouse banned from attending ASU as a student. Before he was acquitted of murder, Rittenhouse testified at his trial that he was taking online classes at ASU.
Are you currently enrolled in any further studies?
I'm a college student studying nursing at Arizona State University.
You know, I should also have done a video on this. There was a whole protest about them, and people were actually interviewing people that were protesting and counter-protesting, and the people that were protesting, like, you can tell they did not watch the case, and so yeah.
Women led a rally and an online petition to have Rittenhouse removed from being able to take any classes, online or in person. They described him as a killer, even though a jury agreed that he acted in self-defense.
We want to say Kyle Rittenhouse is not just any random killer. He's a white supremacist killer. He's a descendant of white Americans who killed black and brown people.
Not only did the protesters demand that Kyle Rittenhouse be kept out of the school, they also demanded that the university release a statement denouncing murderer Rittenhouse and white supremacy. But even after their activism, Rittenhouse confirmed that he is enrolled in classes for the 2022 spring semester. After the September incident, the university's Code of Conduct Board began an investigation and concluded that the women were guilty of interfering with university activities. The two women disputed the findings and organized a press conference to protest the disciplinary action.
I'm being punished for being too black, too proud, too loud, and unapologetic.
One of the women said, instead of taking care of a student who has been socially lynched and verbally assaulted on campus,
You know, you gotta love some of these things that they got, like, these nice little, like, blurbs of, like, I'm too loud, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm unapologetic. Like, no, like, girl, like, calm your ass down. No one really cares. You are defending a multicultural center that, you know what? Really, all of this doesn't really matter, because you can, one thing she says, like, I can't study, like, here and there. This is the only place that I'm centered. They love that word, centered, like, focusing on you. But, like, okay, you can really just study wherever you want. Like, I don't know why you gotta be all up on this, but it's just, I think it's just funny and
ASU
ridiculous.
basically said F you and decided that they'd be a bigger pain in our asses and opening an investigation on us.
ASU's punishing us for standing up for our friends and other students of color. ASU's punishing us for telling two white boys that only one room on campus is not going to center them.
However, their efforts
AKA
came to no
segregation.
avail, and ASU chose to uphold their disciplinary actions. In response, the women recorded another video of themselves about the final ruling, and they are not happy about it.
Dear white people, aka ASU, you openly discriminated against us.
How many times you think they got that in sync? Because, you know, I do my intros for the, you know, like, hey, what's up, all this stuff, like, I had to work on that, and it took me how many videos to get it down? So I'm just imagining them, like, together, being like, okay, we got these, okay, dear white people, aka ASU, like, I don't know, maybe they got it all in one shot, I don't know, but okay, moving on.
On November 16th, when you handed down your decision from your racially biased investigation. ASU was aware of how we were getting doxxed and suffering psychological and emotional violence by white supremacists from across the country, but it still did not protect us. Instead, they launched an investigation against us.
The women said that they were issued a warning and were required to write a 3-page paper about civil discourse. However, it appears they decided to do a video project about it instead.
You gave us 2 punishments. The first one was a warning, and the second one was to write a 3-page paper on how...
Okay, I'll just pause right there. I mean, the warning I can get, but, like, I'd be mad too. Like, I'm trying to voice my opinion. You're gonna make me do homework? Like, I'll be mad about that. Okay, like, all of this, like, you giving me work that it's like I already got papers already for another class, and you're gonna make me do more papers? Okay, that I can say, like, I can feel like that's not fair.
Next time, when we talk with white people about race and society, we will be civil. This video is in fulfillment of our educational intervention.
That's where the story ends for now, but if there are any new updates from this dynamic duo, we'll let you know. I'm Brett Cooper, thanks for watching.
Cool. Okay, cool. I thought that was a very cool segment report from the Daily Wire. I just wanted to hear all that, and again, it was a great update. You know, I think we're gonna listen. This is not the last time we're gonna see these folks. You know, again, we're doing this update, but because Kyle Rittenhouse is gonna be on ASU, I think we're gonna see more of this dynamic duo a little bit more, and so we're gonna live for it and see how much more. I think they're gonna get in trouble more. I think they're just gonna push their narrative, and they feel like they're unjustified, that they're like, why are we being punished? And they don't understand why they're being punished, right? So what we'll do is we're gonna go into their IG, you know, listening to them actually talking and all that good stuff. So we'll take a look at that and see what they gotta say. So check it.
On September 23rd, hateful and racist symbology invaded our Multicultural Center on ASU's Tempe campus and made the center unsafe for BIPOC students who were trying to study. The two white men...
For those who don't know, BIPOC is Black, Indigenous, Person of Color. I mean, like, I hate that word in general because already a person of color, okay, so that should be encompassing everyone. Obviously, it doesn't include white people. Oh, depending on where you're at, it may not also include Asian people. But now you gotta say Black, Indigenous, Person of Color. Like, so you gotta have more privilege and talk about and centering and elevate Black, Indigenous along with people of color. So, okay.
Both students displayed a Police Lives Matter sticker, a Brass Pro hat, a Chick-fil-A cup, and an anti-Biden t-shirt. The Police Lives...
Ooh! It's like... That is like the most offensive thing ever. Like, oh my god, like, imagine, like, did she say that out loud and be like, this is the most offensive thing they can do? Like, can you imagine that? A Police Live sticker, a anti-Biden shirt, a Chick-fil-A, and a Bass Pro hat? Girl! Oh god, this is great!
Lives Matter sticker was on one of the white man's laptop, which was clearly directed towards a black woman who was leading the black study tables across from him, as the boys chose to sit across from the black study tables. The boys made the space uncomfortable with their nonverbal aggressive gestures directed...
You know, real quick, they talk about all of this uncomfortable thing. Well, one, I think it's stupid that you got uncomfortable. But two, isn't this the same kind of like rhetoric and narrative that like if a woman wears like a spaghetti strap, like in high school, whatever, aren't they gonna be the same people? Like, you boys should not like have their eyes focusing on studies. It shouldn't be on the girl to change because it's not their responsibility. It's not their responsibility to not affect the boys, right? So if we apply that same logic, like why do these guys with Police Lives Matter gonna affect you? You are telling them that I'm being offended, so you need to change your sticker. You need to be out of here. That's the same type of thing. Like me as a boy, oh, you can't wear a spaghetti strap because I'm gonna get aroused. So you can't wear that, woman. You know, like don't you see? We get it. Like there's no consistency when it comes to any of this stuff. But it's just funny that none of this, like, that they don't think about this, right? So
towards the black woman. The students called for help from ASU, but no one came for over 30 minutes. So we were forced to confront these men by ourselves.
Pause. Sorry, like I'm playing this from Instagram and the audio is not matching with the words. So if you're wondering all of that, sorry.
After this incident, we received thousands of rape, death, and lynching threats on our...
Okay, so Okay, so I saw this from Brandon Tatum in the quartering, and obviously, just as much I agree with them, no one should be doxing them and all that stuff. But I imagine, and we'll read one of this, but like, one, if you're gonna, this situation is big enough that you're gonna attract many people that don't really care. People are gonna troll. Like, I get trolled a lot just by commenting other people's videos and people commenting my videos. So like, when something is big like this, you're gonna attract like stupid people, right? And so this is not necessarily just people, quote unquote, on the right attacking them, but sometimes anything that is also negative, they're gonna blow it up as like, oh, they don't disagree with me, so that's harassment. Like, I legit got like a DM of me talking to some person, and apparently the autistic, I don't know, they're like saying, why are you harassing me? And all I said is like, do you not, and I said something simple like, don't you think Biden is doing a bad job? And it's like, you're harassing me because I'm just questioning him. I don't know if they were trolling, so whatever, but that's the point.
Personal Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and email accounts. It's been more than 2 months since the incident, and Zara and I received these threats every single day.
ASU was aware of how we were getting doxxed and suffering psychological and emotional violence by white supremacists from across the country, but it still did not protect us. Instead, they launched an investigation against us, and we had to mobilize the community to protect ourselves from being kicked out by the institution. ASU's investigation found us guilty of interfering with university activities.
Dear white people, aka ASU, you openly discriminated against us on November 16th when you handed down your decision from your racially biased investigation. We are being persecuted for defending our Multicultural Center from racism and sexism. You gave us 2 punishments. The first one was a warning, and the second one was to write a 3-page paper on how next time when we talk with white people about race and society, we will be civil.
This video is a fulfillment of our educational intervention. We're going to give ASU an educational intervention on why telling students of color at ASU to be more civil in the face of white supremacy.
Pause. Let's say this is the hill they want to die on. Do you really want this going forward? I don't know what you plan to do with the rest of your life, what career you plan to have for the rest of your life, or careers. But unless they are going to be activists, and that might be very well the case, this is going to be clout for them, this is going to be a badge of honor for them, that they're fighting against the power in their eyes. But any other job, I don't know if you want this in your background, yo. This is the hill. This is the no. This is 100% the hill they want to die on. This is 100% their civil rights movement. This is they think this is the pinnacle of their social justice, because I'm not saying that whatever they feel is not valid. I'm just saying that they feel that this is the most oppressed that they felt. And so this is the fight they're gonna fight on. So,
and neo-Nazism on this campus is actually violent.
Can you actually define these words? Because just because you don't like something doesn't necessarily mean it's Nazi, it's racist, it's fascist, and all that stuff. Define your words.
ASU is a violent place. Just last week, there was an Islamophobic attack at ASU in which pages from Quran Majid, the holiest book for Muslims, were ripped apart and burned for Muslim students to find in the interfaith room.
If that happened, obviously that's bad. But who, with everything with like Justice Smollett, who would bet that was a false flag? I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying, with everything that's going on, I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Interfaith room is the only place on campus where Muslim students are told they should pray in. Meanwhile, there are multiple small rooms in the Multicultural Center at ASU Tempe that Muslim women who are looking for a private place to pray in are locked out of. We are told the reason that Muslim women cannot use those small spaces to pray in is because it would not be equal.
You see, this is the problem. ASU does not understand the difference between equity and equality, and ASU refuses to center the most marginalized. In addition to...
Well, that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna, when they talk about equality, like, if you're gonna give one opportunity for one person, then you're gonna give opportunity for all people, just as much as the Multicultural Center. I know in their eyes, like, that's supposed to, it's okay to segregate against white people, but if you're saying that a multicultural place center is supposed to be open to all diversities, that should be actually including white people. So in their eyes, that's not how it works, but that's how in paper it should. Legality, it should.
That hate crime, around October 31st, another hate crime happened at ASU, Tempe, where anti-Semitism flyers littered the campus. These flyers had an ASU registered student club, the College Republicans United, on the flyer. This is the same club that raised money for Kyle Rittenhouse. And these are just the attacks that have happened since our own viral incident on September 23rd. This tells you a little bit about the type of environment, the toxic place that ASU wants us to be civil in.
Pause. Pause. Hard pause. If ASU is so bad, why are you studying there, homegirl? Why? Why give your money to this racist institution? If it's so bad as you mentioned, why are you even there? Why? Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just go ahead, pause it there. There is more, like 5 more minutes into the actual video. I'll link it below so you can check it out yourself. But I think I kind of went on a lot in this own video, so I don't want to drag it on too much. Even though a lot of this stuff is a lot of good content to like dive into. But, you know, I kind of just want to pause it there just because I think I ranted enough talking about what they gotta say. So, in general, you know, I think this is something to look into further. I think my last point is very great, that like, if she's saying that ASU is as bad as it is, why is she even giving money to this organization, this institution? And so, you know, I think that's the biggest point, and I think we're going to listen more to these two individuals, especially that Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be a student there and have in-person classes and all that stuff. So we're going to listen to this a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's stupid, but at the same time, stupid in a stupid incident. But, you know, I think, like I said in the beginning, that, you know, because they were found guilty because of harassing, in which they were, you know, I think we are winning these small battles, and hopefully people are waking up, you know. I'm sure, like, all of these, like, social justice talking points and words sounds great, but when you dive into it, you're gonna start questioning, like, why is it that you can't do this? If this is supposed to be a multicultural center, why can't you have white people? If the Fed, like, what defines as white people? Is white people only WASP, white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, or are you gonna say that, like, Slavic people, which Slavic means slave, are Slavic people white? When you start questioning the narrative, I think people are starting to wake up to what's going on, and so I think that's the biggest point here. And again, I'll probably do another video in culture war in general, but I kind of just want to do this update real quick. And so tell me what you think. Comment below. Tell me, yeah, so what are your thoughts on this situation? And thank you again for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.